morning, students. Welcome back to online class. Today we are going to discuss scope and excitement of physics. Discoveries in physics are of two types. One is accidental discoveries and second one well analyzed research outcome in the laboratory based on intuitive thinking and prediction. For example, magnetism was accidentally observed, but the reason for this strange behavior of magnets was later analyzed theoretically. This analysis revealed the underlying phenomena of magnetism. With this knowledge, artificial magnets were prepared in the laboratories. Theoretical predictions are the most important contribution of physics to the developments in technology and medicine. For example, the famous equation of Albert Einstein. We know that equation is needed. That is E is equal to mc square. M be the mass of an object and c be the velocity of the light. E is equal to mc square was theoretical prediction in 1905 and experimentally proved in 1932 by Cockcroft and Walton. The name of the scientist Cockcroft and Walton. So, the theoretical predictions aided with the reason simulations and computation procedures are widely used to identify the most suited materials for robust applications. So, physics has a huge scope as it covers a tremendous range of magnitude of various physical quantities. We know many physical quantities. It's needed length, mass, time, current, then temperature, energy, power, velocity, like that. It deals with systems of very large magnitude as in astronomical phenomena as well as those with very small magnitude involving electrons and protons. The range of time scales, the astronomical scales to the microscopic scales. The astronomical scales we have to take on, that is 10 power 18 second to we have to take as 10 power minus 22 second. So 10 power 18 second is taken as a macroscopic quantities and 10 power minus 22 is taken as a microscopic quantities. And range of masses from heavenly bodies of electron, that is 10 power 55 kilogram is a macroscopic value, 10 power 55 kilogram, that is mass of known observable universe, to a 10 power minus 31, that is mass of an electron is 10 power minus 31 electron, that is actual mass of an electron is 9.11 into 10 power minus 31 kilogram. So in the heavenly bodies to electron also we can find out the values with the help of the physics. The study of physics is not only educative but also exciting in many ways. A small number of basic concepts and laws can explain a diverse physical phenomena. That is only we have already discussed in the unification and reductionism is needed. The most interesting part is the designing of useful devices based on the physical laws. For example, a use of robotics, a journey to moon and to nearby planets with the controls from the ground, technological advances in health sciences, etc. Carrying out new challenging experiments to unfold the secrets of nature and in verifying or falsifying the existing theories. Do you understand? Probing and understanding the science behind natural phenomena like the eclipse and why one feels the heat when there is a fire, or what causes the wind, etc., or what is the occurrence of rainbow, etc. In today's world of technological advancement, The building block of all engineering and technical education is physics, which is explained with the help of mathematical tools. I hope you understand. Now let us move on to physics in relation to technology and society. A technology is the application of the principles of physics for practical purposes. The application of knowledge for practical purposes in various fields to invent and produce useful products or to solve problems is known as technology. Thus, physics and technology can both together impact our society directly or indirectly. For example, basic laws of electricity and magnetism led to the discovery of wireless communication technology, which has shrunk the world with effective communication over large distances. A second example, the launching of satellite into space has revolutionized the concept of communication. Microelectronics, lasers, computers, superconductivity, and nuclear energy have comprehensively changed the thinking and living style of human beings. So these are the examples for the how the physics and technology are both together impact our society directly or indirectly. Physics, being a fundamental science, has played a vital role in the development of all other sciences. A few examples are given in our textbook. First, let us see physics in relation to chemistry. In physics, we study the structure of atom. We know that one is radioactivity. What is radioactivity? What is natural radioactivity? What is artificial radioactivity? Everything you know. X-ray diffraction, etc. Such studies have enabled researchers in chemistry to arrange elements in the periodic table on the basis of their atomic numbers. This has further helped to know the nature of valency, chemical bonding, and to understand the complex chemical structures. Interdisciplinary branches like physical chemistry and quantum chemistry play important roles here. So, this is the physics in relation to chemistry. And second, physics in relation to biology. Biological studies are impossible without a microscope designed using physics principles. So the physics principles only is used for the designing of the microscope. The invention of the electron microscope has made possible to see even the structure of a cell. X-ray and neutron diffraction techniques have helped us to understand the structure of nucleic acids, which help to control vital life processes. X-rays are used for diagnostic purposes. Radioisotopes, for example radiocobalt, used in radiotherapy for the cure of cancer and other diseases. In recent years, biological processes are being studied from the physics point of view. So, this is the importance for the physics in relation to biology. Now, let us move on to the third one, physics in relation to mathematics. Physics is a quantitative science. Already we know that one is need. It is most closely related to mathematics as a tool for its development. Now let us see physics in relation to astronomy. Astronomical telescopes are used to study the motion of planets and other heavenly bodies in the sky. You can see we can use the astronomical telescopes. Afterwards only we could able to see the planets and the heavenly bodies in the sky. Radio telescopes have enabled the astronomers to observe distant points of the universe. The studies of the universe are done using physical principles. So, the physical principles only is involved for studying the astronomy. The next one, physics in relation to geology. Diffraction techniques help to study the crystal structure of various rocks. See the diagram here, the various rocks are given instead. So the first diagram is given. This is taken as the structure, the crystal structure, and this is taken as the rock structure. Okay, the rocks is given here. The diffraction techniques only is used to study the crystal structure of various rocks. Radioactivity is used to estimate the age of rocks, fossils, and the age of the earth. Which one is used here? Radioactivity is used to estimate the age of rocks. And next one, physics in relation to oceanography. Oceanographers seek to understand the physical and the chemical process of the oceans. They measure parameters such as a temperature, salinity. Salinity means what? The salt level of the seawater, current speed, gas fluxes, chemical components, etc. So what is based here? The physics principles only is used there. Okay. And next one, physics in relation to psychology. All psychological interactions can be derived from a physical process. The movements of neurotransmitters. You know what is the use of the neurotransmitters? Isn't it? Neurotransmitters are used to transmit signals from nerve cells to target cells. It is often referred to as the body's chemical messengers. This is only is called as what? Neurotransmitters. So the movements of neurotransmitters are governed by the physical properties of diffusion and molecular motion. The functioning of our brain is related to our underlying wave particle dualism. So which one is involved here? The physics principles only is used here. Okay. So nature teaches true science with physics as an efficient tool. Science and technology should be used in a balanced manner so that they do not become weapons to destroy nature, which thought as science. Global warming and other negative impacts of technology need to be checked. Safe science with moderate and appropriate use of technology is the need of this century. I hope you understand what are the relations to technology and the society, and what are the scope and excitement of physics. Now let us move on to measurement. The comparison of any physical quantity with its standard unit is known as measurement. It's basically this is a comparison, isn't it? So the comparison of any physical quantity with its standard unit is known as measurement. So measurement is basic of all scientific studies and experimentation. It plays an important role in our daily life. So now let us move on to the example for the physical quantities. So already we know what are physical quantities is needed. A physical quantity is one that can be measured or observed and consists of a magnitude and a unit. So the quantities that can be measured and in terms of which laws of physics are described are called as what? Physical quantities. For example, length, mass, time, force, energy, etc. And see here, the first one is given, that is 4.5 meter. So what given here? What is given here? The quantity is given, that is the height, the length can be measured. The magnitude is nothing but value, that is 4.5, and m it gives for the unit of the length. So the unit meter is given. And see the second one, the diagram is given 70 km per hour. So the quantity is given speed. and magnitude is given 70. The unit is kilometer per hour. And third diagram is given 33 degrees Celsius. So it gives a quantity is temperature. The magnitude is 33 and unit is degrees Celsius. So the example for what? The physical quantities. So what is the definition of physical quantity? Quantities that can be measured and in terms of which laws of physics are described are called physical quantities. So now let us move on to physical quantities are classified into two types. One is base quantities and second one is the derived quantities. Base quantities are fundamental quantities and second type is derived quantities. Now let us see what are base quantities and derived quantities. So first let us see fundamental quantities or base quantities. The physical quantities that cannot be defined in terms of other physical quantities cannot be defined in terms of other physical quantities. For example, length, mass, time, temperature, electric current, luminous intensity, amount of substance. So this is only is called as what? Base quantity or fundamental quantity. And second one, derived quantities. So the derived quantities is nothing but physical quantities derived from base quantities by multiplication or a division or both. This is only is called as what? Derived quantities. So the quantities that can be expressed or derived from the fundamental quantities called as what? Derived quantities. For example, density, pressure, force, area, volume, velocity, acceleration, etc. It's one of the important 2-mark question. What are the types of physical quantities? So first you have to write physical quantities are classified into two types. They are base and derived quantities. And after that you have to write what are base quantities and write the example. And second you have to write what are derived quantities with examples. I hope you understand. Okay, now let us move on to what is the definition of unit and its types. The process of measurement is basically a process of comparison. Already we have discussed what is measurement. It is a comparison, isn't it? To measure a quantity, we always compare it with some reference standard. For example, when we state that a rope is 10 meter long, so the length of the rope is what? 10 meter long is given. It is to say that it is 10 times as long as an object whose length is defined as 1 meter. So we can say the rope is 10 meter long. It is said that what? It is 10 times as long as the object whose length is defined as 1 meter. Already we know the length unit is 1 meter. Is the unit of length is 1 meter. So here the object length is defined as what? We have to take as 1 meter. So 10 times as long as the unit. So 10 into 1 meter. Such a standard is known as the unit of the quantity. So here 1 meter is the unit of the quantity length. So what is 1 meter here? 1 meter is the unit of the quantity length. So you have to say length. The unit of the length is meter or 1 meter. We have to write like this. Okay. So what is unit or what is the definition of the unit? An arbitrarily chosen standard of measurement of a quantity which is accepted internationally is called as unit of the quantity. So the unit can be accepted internationally. So we have to follow the same unit. That is only we have to call this as a unit, is needed. So which is accepted internationally is called the unit of the quantity. The units in which the fundamental quantities are measured are called fundamental units. The units in which one is measured? The fundamental quantities are measured. This is called as fundamental units. And the units are measurement of all other physical quantities, that is it's obtained from the suitable multiplication or in the division. It's nothing but the derived quantities. This is called as derived units. So in which the derived quantities are measured are called derived units. So what are the types of units? One is taken as a fundamental unit and second one is taken as a derived units. Okay, now let us move on to what are the different types of measurement systems. A complete set of units which is used to measure all kinds of fundamental and derived quantities is called as a system of units. So which one is used to measure all kinds of the physical quantities? Either it comes for the fundamental quantity or in the derived quantities. So here some of the common system of units are used in mechanics. The first is given system, second length, mass, time. Here the fundamental quantities are given. Okay, first system we have to take as a FPS system. The FPS system is the British engineering system of units, which uses foot, pound and second as the three basic units for measuring length, mass and time respectively. And let us see the second system. This is CGS system. It is the Gaussian system which uses centimeter, gram, second as the three basic units for measuring length, mass and time respectively. So the length, here the centimeter, the unit of length, gram, the unit of mass, second the unit of time in the CGS or in the Gaussian system. And next one is the MKS system. The MKS system is based on meter, kilogram, second as the three basic units for measuring length, mass and time respectively. So the unit of length is meter, the unit of mass is kilogram and unit of time is second. So these are the different types of measurement systems. So what is measurement? So measurement is the basic of all scientific studies and experimentation. It is a comparison of any physical quantity with its standard unit is known as measurement. And also we have discussed the definition of physical quantity, what are the types of physical quantities, then definition of unit and types, and what are the different types of measurement and systems. I hope you understand. Suppose if you are having any doubt, you ask your physics teachers. Thank you.